Hmm. Hey, YouTubers. What's going on, guys? So, live on YouTube, live on Twitter via Space. Mm-mm-mm. Before we dive in, guys, you could stop by bloggingfromparadise.com if you're interested in blogging courses. I've created 2 blogging courses for you: how to get featured on world famous blogs and how to become a pro blogger in 5 steps. Also, created a number of ebooks, written a number of manuals for you, so you can check them out. And of course, I have blog posts, some videos, podcasts, all that good stuff. So, guys, on a gorgeous day here in New Jersey, feels very fall-like, quite beautiful, which is a nice treat because we've gone through some really hot and humid conditions recently. Got a plane coming overhead because we're close to the shore, and you have these planes flying by with relatively close to the shore, like 20-minute drive, with these banners. Guys, are you making these 2 blogging mistakes? Let's dive in. The first one is assuming that blogging does not require years worth of time and work. It's assuming that blogging is easy, so you're assuming that becoming a professional won't require thousands of blogging hours in terms of work to go pro. So that's mistake number 1. Mistake number 2 is believing that blogging and going pro, like becoming a professional blogger, involves only writing and publishing blog posts. So that's mistake number 2. And these are 2 pretty sneaky mistakes, although they seem very silly to established professional bloggers who know a very different story. But when you're new to blogging, like me 15 years ago, when I was new to this, I really thought, honestly, because I had no idea, I didn't do my homework, I was delusional, didn't do my research. I honestly thought that that blogging was just writing and publishing posts. And if I wrote and published a lot of posts, this was my thinking as a newbie 15 years ago. If I wrote and published a lot of posts that, hey, whose iPhone? Thanks, bro. That I would become a professional blogger. I'd make a lot of money. Reality altered my expectations. The truth altered my expectations. I struggled and failed for a very long time because I didn't research blogging. I didn't do my due diligence. I didn't learn how to blog successfully from a professional blogger. I didn't invest in courses. I didn't invest in ebooks. I didn't invest in coaching. I thought that this gig was just going to be writing and publishing a handful of posts for a number of months, maybe, and then I'd go pro. Then the money would come in. So I made the mistake of thinking not only that blogging was easy, my nose is really itchy now, but that it would be a little bit of work, maybe a couple hundred hours over a number of months, and then I'd be all set. Of course, the reason why this was such a difficult struggle for me was that until I understood the basic truth, the fundamental truth, going pro, or just even experiencing, nice worldly success, if you don't want to be a professional, the truth is that's going to require thousands of hours in front of a laptop, creating and connecting generously. And then to piggyback on that, those thousands of hours will involve developing multiple skills. So blogging is not writing and publishing posts. Blogging's picking a niche that you feel passionate about and targeting an ideal reader and making sure that you solve a pressing problem in that niche by vetting the idea through Google, through Answer the Public, keyword research, Quora, Reddit. So does that sound like writing and publishing blog posts? But that's just step one. That's a skill you develop. Then there's the skill of the writing skill. You have to become a clear, confident writer by writing 500 words a day, 1,000 words a day, every day for the next 1 year, 2 years. You got to keep doing it, guys. Because if you don't, you won't be skilled writing wise. You won't be clear and confident, and readers won't follow your blog. You got to get really good at it. And that's just writing. Then you have to develop the skill of being an entrepreneur, thinking and feeling and acting like an entrepreneur, not an employee. That's a different skill altogether. You'll see bloggers that feel uncomfortable or awkward, aka they're afraid to monetize their blogs. They haven't developed yet the skill of being an entrepreneur. So even if they're really skilled writers, they'll never make money through their blog, because you have to think, feel, and act like an entrepreneur and develop that skill if you want to actually make money, because you're going to have to monetize through multiple income channels. Then there's another skill to develop. See why it takes many thousands of hours? You got to become really skilled in these different areas. It's called blogger outreach. You have to learn how to effectively gain the trust of influential bloggers from your niche by commenting genuinely on their blogs. I mean, I wrote a whole ebook on that, 83 pages or whatever, or however many pages. Promoting fellow bloggers on your blog, promoting fellow bloggers on social media, promoting fellow bloggers on Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn to gain their trust, to gain credibility and build relationships. That's another skill to develop. This is the real deal, guys. Like we're talking about at least 4 skills right there to develop, 4 separate skills. And you have to do this concurrently. Like you're going to be developing these skills, not simultaneously, like you only do one thing at a time, but you'll spend some time today doing your blogging homework, doing research. That's another thing. You have to be a skilled student to learn how to blog the right way from a professional. So you'll spend some time today doing homework, learning how to blog the right way. You'll develop that skill, the skill of being a student. Then you'll develop the skill of being a writer. You'll set aside, I advise, some time to write 500 to 1,000 words every single day in a Word document about anything, just to become a clear, confident writer. Then you trash the document. So that's another skill to develop. It takes a lot of time to develop multiple skills, but then you have to start writing and publishing posts, preferably long form. You'll also be developing the skill of learning how to optimize posts for search engines, SEO optimizations. That's another skill. Got to learn how to format a post. We're talking interlinking, linking out, trusted sources, linking into trusted sources, embedding multimedia to appease the Google gods and to honor the pretty strong trend of people watching a lot of videos and listening to a lot of podcasts on their mobile devices, on their phones. Like this is a lot of learning and work and practice, and I'm just getting into it. So it's not to intimidate you guys, but it's to step you back into reality, that you can't make the mistake of, number one, thinking that blogging is going to be a quick, easy way to make money. It's going to be a long journey. We have to develop these skills. And then number 2, to think that it's just one skill. Oh, I blogged today. I just wrote and published a post. No. Writing is one skill. Being a student is another skill. Learning how to blog the right way from professionals. Another skill is learning how to actually publish and present a post. Learning how to optimize a post for SEO is another skill. Engaging in blogger outreach is a different skill. Monetizing your blog is a different skill. Thinking, feeling, and acting like an entrepreneur is a different skill. Now, you don't want to be intimidated, guys. You just want to ground yourself in reality, because I've published content that covers all of these different skills and how to become proficient. I've created courses. This is why it's a really good idea to buy courses, guys. You get all this information in one spot. I've written ebooks on these topics. Like when you buy the ebook, like the blog commenting, you have no idea what to do when you have 70 or 80 pages of hundreds of practical tips, or however many, I mean, together collectively. A lot of practical tips on blog commenting. Then you have the full guide. But you'll see it's going to take a while to get out of the mindset of, for most bloggers, oh, I'm going to drop, or first off, blog commenting is a waste of time. No, it's not. It's a great way to meet virtually anybody, for anyone from a beginner blogger up to a seasoned pro. And then you're going to have to get your mind out of the scarcity, fear, poverty belief of, well, let me just drop a nice post comment on 2,000 blogs today. No, they'll all go to spam. But I coach you through my blog, through my courses, through the ebook, How to Build an Online Empire Through Blog Commenting, available on blogempires.com, how to publish mindful, in-depth comments to build relationships. So when you address these mistakes, assuming that blogging is going to be a quick, easy way to make money, and that's the first mistake. And the second mistake, assuming that blogging is just one skill, writing and publishing posts. And even at that, a lot of people think, oh, it's not even a skill, just write and publish whatever comes to my head. No. The world trusts specialists, not generalists. If your doctor delivered pizza on the side and also picked up garbage, you would stop going to them. You would go to a doctor who gives all of their attention and energy professionally being a doctor. So we trust them. We trust specialists. Ditto for lawyers and whatever. Blogging is no different. You got to specialize in one niche if you really want to make it big. If you really want to go pro and do it from an energy of clarity and freedom and leveraging. So when you're thinking about this stuff, guys, even if it appears to be overwhelming at first, I'm grounding you in reality. I'm sharing the truth with you. So once you accept the truth, once you accept reality, then your delusional, unrealistic expectations, you ramp them down to realistic expectations that aren't delusional. You begin to realize that you'll be spending many thousands of hours learning and practicing to go pro, creating and connecting. You'll start developing these different skills slowly, steadily, patiently, and then everything falls into place. It's like once you understand the truth and you accept it, that's when you have peace of mind. The problems with blogging, why bloggers don't have peace of mind, why they have a very difficult time, is they resist the truth. They fight it. They go against it. They think that this gig is just going to be as easy as writing and publishing posts, and it's not. Now, how do you address these mistakes? How do you know you're making them? Well, look at your blogging campaign. Are you spending many hundreds to thousands of hours developing the many skills that are involved in becoming a professional blogger? Or are you just writing and publishing posts? If you're just writing and publishing whatever comes to your mind, you're lost, you're done. You're going to fail and you will quit. Unless you change your tune. If you keep doing that, you'll eventually quit because you'll never succeed. And the reason why is I've been doing this for 15 years, guys. I've been doing this since 2008. I've seen tens of thousands of bloggers make this same identical mistake again and again. They don't develop the skills. They don't learn blogging from professionals. They try to take shortcuts. They think that they're going to succeed writing and publishing posts for a few hundred hours over a number of months. They think they're going to go pro. They think they're Google AdSense revenue. I'm in different blogging groups just to observe on Facebook. I mean, really, across multiple channels online. But some of these groups on Facebook where all the bloggers obsess over getting AdSense revenue because they fear in their mind there's no other channels. Whereas, really abundant-minded bloggers open other channels. They find other channels, income channels creatively. So you have these bloggers stumbling over themselves to try to make money through Google AdSense when they have no traffic and their traffic's not targeted. So then they're stunned when they make 5 cents per post, 5 cents a month, or they made $1.63 last month on AdSense. Guys, this is delusional. It's not going to work. You're not going to succeed by trying to go pro through AdSense monetization until you're getting many tens of thousands of highly targeted readers to your blog frequently. So when you're getting tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of highly targeted readers to your blog checking out your quality content, yeah, then you can start making hundreds and then thousands through AdSense. How many bloggers have that? Very few. Why? Because most bloggers are delusional. They think it's just write and publish 30 pieces of content a day and follow news. It's all taking shortcuts to nowhere. Like ultimately that's what happens. You take a shortcut to nowhere. You force, you strain, you strive, and you haven't accepted the reality. This gig takes a really long time, and a lot of work, aka practice. I mean, it's creating and connecting, so it's actual work, but think of it as practice. So when I create a video like this, I broadcast live on YouTube, I'm still practicing. Now it's for public consumption, and ditto for the Twitter space. It's for public consumption for you guys, but I'm also practicing allowing these ideas to seep deeper into my mind. It's really kind of an awesome deal. And I've learned it's the only way you become successful. You have to keep practicing, even if you've been doing this for 15 years and 15,000 hours or 20,000 hours, you keep practicing. Not because you want to fear any idea of illusory competition, but because you get clearer and help more people by practicing, and then also, of course, doing it in a public setting, because you can't stand on the blogging sidelines. You got to get to work now and practice and create and connect, and you have to develop these skills. And you want to think about some analogies, guys. Like I mentioned doctors and lawyers before, and of course their skill set is much more in depth, much more nuanced. The human body and law, I get it. They have much more to master. Yet it takes them a really long time to become doctors and lawyers, and then an even longer time to become a very skilled doctor or lawyer, because you need work experience. Like every single skill in life, you need practice, you need work experience. You got to do it yourself. Blogging is just like that, and that you got to do this stuff yourself again and again and again. You got to put in the thousands of hours over years. You got to put in the work to get really good at it. You got to practice, 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 practice. But it's not just one skill. And you got to address that mistake, guys. It's many skills. Video presentation, if you go down that road. Podcasting, if you go down that road. I mean, you're going to be a professional blogger, but you can integrate podcasting, and it's a good idea to reach out. You can integrate live video. You can integrate infographics if you'd like, but they're all skills to develop. And you'll notice too, when you're working different social media sites or professional site, say Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn, each of those sites, social media marketing for bloggers is a skill, learning how to network and engage and create, connect. But you have to, just checking this now. You have to, I just reading a question here. Sharif, one sec, buddy. You have to, I lost track. Work at it and develop all these skills, patiently, persistent, jolly. And Huzaifa Sharif, okay, my question. If someone isn't consistent with the blog, is not following a strict posting schedule, can he or she still make good money with it? Okay. So you're asking if someone's not consistent, if they don't consistently publish helpful content, and if they don't follow a posting schedule. So don't worry about the posting schedule. That's not a big deal, bro. Definitely not a big deal, because you want to try to get a post out there at least once a week, a long form, SEO optimized, in-depth post. Yet that's not a huge deal. But if you're not consistent and persistent, if you're not publishing at least a post a month, and then I would say a week, you do want to kind of a week every 2 weeks. You kind of got to get it out there, guys, because you'll be drowned by bloggers like myself. We're putting content out there, helpful content more frequently. And also too, bro, you have to be consistent with your blogger outreach, building relationships. So yeah, you won't make money. You still can't forget good money. You won't make any money, actually. buddy. And the reason why I want to say that, the reason why I'm saying that is you profit. I mean, good money, you're going to hear a lot of different definitions. That's all based on, well, good money to someone with $0 is $100 because they get to eat. Good money to someone who's making six figures maybe is taking it up to $1 million. So that's kind of relative. But as far as like thinking, okay, income's going to be flowing in, no, you're not going to be able to unless you're consistent and persistent. You got to put in work, and you have to be aware too, buddy. When you're on this blogging journey, the ego, aka our fears, but the ego is going to try to look for as many shortcuts as possible. So like the whole topic of this space and YouTube live video is what? Well, you got to put in thousands of hours of work to become a professional blogger, and you have to develop many, many skills. So then think about, well, okay, was there any way to succeed without putting in a lot of work and developing all those skills? Can I make good money? No. So you see what I mean? Like it's not, and I don't mean this in a pejorative sense, please. But you know what I mean, right? It's just, you guys understand what I'm saying. It's going to take thousands of hours of work over years of your life to develop all the skills necessary, many skills to become a professional blogger. So any other alternative to that, shortcuts, no, that doesn't work. You won't go pro. Developing one skill, writing and publishing posts, no, that doesn't work. You won't go pro. Like I could assure you, this is my blogging experience from doing this for a long time. And a lot of other bloggers who've been at it for 10 years, 15 years, they will say the same thing. I think of Lisa Sicard, my friend at inspiretothrive.com. She always mentions how you always have to be learning. She's always learning. And you have to keep learning. Because not only are you mastering skills that are ever changing as far as ways to communicate with people, ways to connect with people, when you stop learning, you begin stagnating. So if you think about this question, Mr. Sharif, I'm thinking, bro, it becomes, okay, can I still profit? Can I still earn some income without working a lot? No. Can I still do this? Can I still make money without developing a lot of skills? No. And it's good when I address it directly and when you get that clear answer, because then you're like, oh, that's true. Ryan said it's going to take thousands of hours. Posting consistently. Now, as far as the consistency, it doesn't mean publishing a post a day, but it means every time you sit down and publish a post, writing 1,000 words to 1,500 words and SEO optimizing the post, it's going to take 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 hours. So this is going to be quality content. But the reason why I say at least weekly posts, as far as consistency and persistence, keeping up with it, is that your blog is a news portal. Even if you're not running a news site, right? Even if you're not running a news portal or blogging about the news, whatever niche you're covering, it's still news, because it has to be relevant and timely and current, or else people won't follow it. So think of a news site publishing one article of news each week. It's obviously very laughable. They publish hundreds to thousands and thousands of news articles every single day. Now, you don't have to publish, nor can you until you hire a company, hundreds of thousands of posts a day. Yet, if you optimize each post and you stay in the stream by publishing at least a post a week, covering different topics and going in depth, you could leverage, and also engaging in blogger outreach, you could leverage your presence through Google, through your blogger friend network, build your links, grow your traffic, grow your business as a solopreneur. But you got to really work at it. And when you're publishing that content, I don't know if you're optimizing, bro, but you definitely want to think about optimizing each post for SEO, because you want to make each post work for you. So you're driving passive, highly targeted blog traffic through Google. And that's another thing to keep in mind too. You want to target every single piece of content for your ideal reader who's following your niche. Because if not, you're kind of wasting your time. You are wasting your time. Because then if you're not communicating to that person, how are you going to draw them to your ebooks or your courses or your coaching or to well-placed ads? It's just not going to happen. So, a little off topic, but still on topic. So I kind of wanted to give you that answer, my friend. Thanks so much for joining and for spreading the word on this one. But you really have to pull yourself out. All you guys, all you guys out there, all my blogging friends, my brothers and sisters out there, do your best to pull yourself out of unrealistic expectations, delusion. Sometimes I think because blogging is so easy to begin, anybody could pull out a credit card and buy their domain and hosting in 5 minutes, right? So since it's so easy for everybody to begin, then through the ego, bloggers delude themselves into the unrealistic expectation of believing that going pro or succeeding will be just as easy. And it's absolutely not, because you guys know anything in the offline world or in the online world, you have to practice for a very long time to get really good at it. And you have to develop multiple skill sets side by side, because the skill of blogging, which is a real skill, it's multifaceted. It's not just writing and publishing posts, SEO optimizing posts, learning to engage in blogger outreach, because you have to have a multifaceted, multi-skilled approach to leverage, to stand out, to reach out, to be seen, to gain credibility. It's just the way that it is. All this content I share with you to help you along, because if you don't see things truthfully, realistically, with the proper expectations, with these years and years and thousands of hours time frames, you're going to keep attempt again and again and again to take shortcuts, which will lead you absolutely nowhere. A shortcut leads you to nowhere. Absolutely, 100%. I was checking out my space here. I'm going to share this. Going to share that. Messing around with it. 2 open spots. 0 co-hosts. Oh, cool. Request to speak. Whatever. Oh, anyway, guys. I am going to roll here because I got a lot of stuff to do today. It's about 2-ish on the East Coast. It's a gorgeous day, so I'll do some hiking in a little bit and I have a little more work to do and got to hydrate and all that good stuff. So, guys, the 2 mistakes you want to avoid making. Number 1, thinking blogging is going to be a quick and easy way to succeed, to go pro, to make money with, without doing much work at all. And then thinking that it's just writing and publishing posts, because it's not. It's really a multi-skilled deal. So, going to be a long journey, but now you know it's going to be long. You can relax. No more rushing, no more hurrying, no more struggling, no more feeling. Now you take your time, and you also know there's multiple skills to develop. So you're going to follow professional bloggers who will teach you those skills through their courses and coaching and ebooks and blog posts and videos like this podcast do. All right, much love, everybody. Thanks so much for joining. I will see you later, tweeters. And to my